Okay, today's video, I'm going to tell you a bootstrap advertising method for newbies on how to start advertising anything, virtually anything, with no money up front, or very, very, very little money up front, practically speaking. So I want to be up front and say that we're not talking about $0, like you're literally a bum on the street, you don't have a nickel, but basically for no money. We're talking $1,000 up front for advertising. You could turn that 1,000 into a profit already, virtually speaking, and then use that to build your company up. Mainly, all that not having much money means is you have to put a little bit more thought into your advertising up front so that you're not just winging it out into the ether and hoping a customer finds you. And then second of all, it taking longer to get where you want to go. If you got more money, you can scale the millions quicker. You have less money, because you're playing essentially just a doubling game. You're trying to take your whatever investment you're starting out with and double it so that you can take that money and then double it again, double it again, double it again. Obviously the doubling, if you will, technically gets harder as you go, but not really, because once you have more money, you can do things such as redesign your website, make it a lot better in a way that you couldn't before when you started out, which makes doubling not so hard later on. But when you start out at the very beginning, you do have the luxury of the first doubling that you do, taking that 1,000 and making it into 2,000, being really easy because you don't have to really stretch that far to find customers. You could go after the best of the best customers that are there ready, the low-hanging fruit or whatever. Pick all that low-hanging fruit right up front. So therefore, you don't have to have that much money at the beginning. You got to kind of reinvent yourself as you go. But with the method that I'm giving you here, anybody can start with basically no money, $1,000, whatever, and make that work enough to double your first investment, to then be in position to double a $2,000 investment and so forth. So with that said, I'll go through what this method is and a couple different examples where we've done this in the past so you can understand exactly how this is deployed for a business like yours. Okay? By the end of the video, you'll have everything you need to employ this bootstrapping advertising method, regardless of how good of an advertiser you think you are or what you know about marketing, if you will. So here's how to start advertising with no money. Any in-demand product or service can be advertised for basically no money starting out, assuming, and the key word here being, if it's in demand. Okay? If you're trying to market a book about, the ethics of dog training, my methods here won't serve you. There's got to be active people out there wanting to buy, okay? Willing to part with their money. They're not just thinking about it. They're out there going to Google, finding people right now, and then buying it. If you got that, you're good. Starting with less money when you're starting to advertise online should mean you should start going after the people that are already ready to buy first. That's always, there's only so many people ready to buy right now, but why go after anybody else besides them if you don't have to? So which means you run Google search ads. Some markets, if you're selling acne cream, let's say, and you try to go to Google search and get people buying acne cream, with little money, you may not be able to necessarily make that work because you have to wait for 4 or 5 purchases in from that same customer to break even on your initial investment. But even then, by the way, because the other people advertising are banking on that happening, so you're not going to make money on the first purchase. And in that case, what you do is you spend $1 a day so that you have time to wait for the repeat purchases to come back before your first $1,000 spent. Do want to put that caveat in there. But starting with less money just means you start smaller in 2 different ways or in just one. If you have less money, a lot of you guys make the mistake of being in a niche market that's too big for your britches, basically. If you're trying to compete with blinds.com, I bring this example up a lot of times on this channel. If you're trying to compete with blinds.com, which if you can get Google search ads to work for people that are trying to buy blinds, you can make $5 million, $10 million a year in profit, minimum. And with that kind of money at stake, you're trying to get into it with your, pea-size pile of money isn't going to work. There's too much at stake, and even with the best strategy on the planet, you're still not going to get it to work. And because if it were that easy, I mean, frankly, I would do it, but more than that, it just defies logic. Big money is going to have lots of money thrown at it to make it work. Small money has small amounts of money thrown at it to make it work. So what you want to do, if you're in a niche too big for your britches, is just find a smaller niche to get into that has very little money thrown at it, that you could come in. Most people have shit marketing set up, and you could come in and just do a decent job on the marketing and make that work, and then find the business you want to be eventually later on once the small niche makes money. So, and you certainly, if you're starting out with like $1,000, that might simply be in a market that you then parlay into another market, that you then parlay into another third market before you actually get into the business you want. To give you an example of that, you start out, if you wanted to be selling to blinds.com, well, why don't you start out selling replacement furnace filters, where best case scenario there, you make $100,000 a year in profit. It's like a paid job, but it will bring in $10,000 a month in profit, which you could then take that $10,000 to start a slightly different business in a more competitive market, which then you can make that into a $100,000 a month business. Then now you can put that into a business that now can make millions per year. A lot of people don't think this way. They just want to go right to the big results, and you don't have the money to do it. So you can go less competitive niche-wise or business-wise, or you can just niche down further in the niche that you're in, which is another route that you can go with it. If you niche down, such as if you're a personal injury lawyer and you're starting with tiny bits of money, why not go after very, very, very specific personal injury cases that basically nobody's running ads for? Could be somebody typing in spinal injury, personal injury lawyer. Somebody typing that into Google versus personal injury lawyer. Because nobody is targeting that niche individually by itself. You can look like a specialist, and therefore your conversion rates are going to be higher than the other people that you're competing against in the personal injury space. And you can make a profit because you ratcheted down, you niched down within your niche. This also has less variables involved in what you're doing when you niche down at the same time, and therefore you get quicker results as well. That is, there's only so many variables in people looking for a spinal injury, personal injury lawyer, versus personal injury law has many variables. So what people do, the mistake they make is they'll be in personal injury law and they'll target 1,000 keywords effectively for all different types of personal injury law, and then each keyword is going to perform differently, and then eventually they will all work after you've had enough data on all 1,000 keywords to find out what works and what doesn't work, and like specifically what you should be spending for a click on each one. Why do that? Certainly you don't want to do that if you're starting out with teeny amounts of money. You want to go after one small chunk of it, and then that way all you're trying to figure out is how much that one keyword for that one specific thing is worth to your business. Lock that in, and then it's already working already effectively. Not to mention, you could figure out quicker somebody that has a spinal injury, what they exactly want to hear on the ad, on the landing page. Okay? Furthermore, you have a landing page or even a dedicated website, which I'm going to talk about, dedicated to spinal injury law. You're going to see, because you're a specialist now, you're going to see a lot more, even if you don't have as big of a law firm as the big guys, because it looks like you specialize, they'll go with the small guy. And so you have that going for you. You might convert at 5 times the rate than the generalized personal injury law firm gets for it with all the lawyers. So you get the general gist of what I'm trying to say here. Niche down enough, pick one thing within your niche and just only focus on that at the beginning, because there's a lot less to figure out, and the remaining people that are left are going to convert at 5 times the rate than they would if you were saying that you do everything within your niche. And it may not be able to provide you a lot of volume in business for you, but what it will do is get you to profitability super quick so that you can live to advertise another day and then parlay what you make from that one into another niche and another sub-niche and another sub-niche and another sub-niche. And eventually you'll target the whole niche, but you're only doing it one sub-niche at a time. So to give you a couple examples of this, in the personal injury space that I was just talking about, what we ended up doing for one particular lawyer was, we started asking questions about like personal injury law, trying to get scaled up and understanding that in individual business. And within that, the most popular niche within personal injury law is car accidents, because that's just how it is, okay? But with less money, and that's being such a big niche, it's like, well, what can we do within that that's going to get us to profitability quicker so that we can look like we specialize in it, like I said. And then furthermore, there's a hell of a lot less to figure out, because it's not a matter of if ads will be profitable. It's just a matter of how much time is it going to take investing into advertising to figure out what works and doesn't work. Because with tracking, you can easily figure that out, including sales tracking of the leads that you have coming in. And so within that, instead of starting out and doing all the car accident stuff and then going up head to head with everybody else in that business, we started looking within that. We went ahead and found out, okay, there's people searching for truck personal injury law, or truck accident personal injury law. Okay, within that, what else can we do to niche down? How far can we niche down where there's still enough still regular searches each month, and we're going to be able to have a repeatable profit-generating system set up through Google Ads and get there as quick as possible still at the same time here, so that our tiny loaf of money that we're investing here will get to profitability super quick, and then we can parlay that into something else. Within the auto accident stuff, there's people searching for like truck accident personal injury lawyer. Then there's people typing in related to semi, getting even more specific. Within that, there's people typing in within that even more specifically, typing in 18-wheeler lawyer. Okay, now we're getting to the level that you're going to be wanting to go at. And furthermore, it gets even more specific than that, 18-wheeler accident lawyer. So that's still having to do with 18-wheelers, but even once you find your niche, you want to pick just one keyword. If you're starting out with $1,000, you pick one damn keyword and only target that. Target it with brackets around it. I know I put quotes around here, but I mean brackets. So you can target it in an exact match format, create a laser targeted ad for that exact person, and send them to a website landing page that just focuses on that. It says it right in the headline, 18-wheeler accident lawyer in the headline, because that's as efficient of a model to capture someone's interest as you possibly can get. You say what they type in the ad, and you say what they typed in the landing page headline. And then furthermore, you want to go the rest of the way with it, you create a dedicated website just for that keyword. So in other words, you register a domain name that's like 18wheeleraccidentlawyer.com. Because when somebody gets to that website, they're going to be like, holy shit, this is all this guy does is 18-wheeler accident cases. Of course I want to hire him. He's a specialist. But people don't do this because they want instant results. They want to go into Google Ads, set up their ads, in 15 minutes they're done. Okay, if you got, shit tons of money to piss away before it ever works well, go right on ahead. That's a whole different, God bless you. If you got, 20 grand, 50 grand to dump into the ads before the machine learning picks up how to run your ads efficiently, go right on ahead. If you got 1,000, you don't have that liberty. You got to put the extra work in. So, and then the other reason why people don't do this is because they say, well, I do everything. I do all kinds of personal injury cases. Why am I going to settle for this one type of case and make a whole website for that? And the reason is because you're going to get profitability way quicker and your ROI is going to be much better. Much better. But since we're talking about bootstrapping on this video, it's mainly about getting to profitability within the first month. In this particular case, we're talking about first month profitability. You're talking about a week to get the ads up and going, and then the leads are coming in. Within the first month, you're hitting a big case. You're already profitable. $1,000 is all it took. Okay, and that could be you as well if you're a lawyer or whatever. And if you're not a lawyer, of course, I've got a second example for you here. In the teeth whitening space. Okay, if you're doing teeth whitening, okay, you can target teeth whitening as a keyword, which is bunk. That's going to produce, there's all kinds of people searching for that and want all kinds of different things, products, whatever. So that's dumb. What you want to do instead is look within that, since we're bootstrapping, and find how far can we niche down so we get profitability as quick as we possibly can. There's people within teeth whitening, the teeth whitening space, typing in teeth whitening service, which is good, but what can we do within that to get our to where we're profitable, hit profitability, break even quicker? There's people typing in teeth whitening near me, so that's even more specific. There's people typing in even furthermore beyond that, cheap teeth whitening near me. Once somebody types something in this specific, they're buying something. So once you get that person to call, they're buying. You've got them. So it's just a matter of how can I get that person to click? And because you are the only one in your local space who has an ad that says cheap teeth whitening near me and a landing page that says that in the headline, you get it by default. And it's really that simple. But if you want to get some extra credit here, what I would do, like we did in this case, with a particular client in this space, you say cheap teeth whitening near you on Brickell and Dade. So you basically say where it's at, because they want to know, you just look at the keyword and you determine by what they're typing in what they exactly want to hear. They want to know a teeth whitening place near them, so we say, and they want to know it's cheap, so we say it's cheap, and then we also say, not just say that it's near you, so that they think, well, because that doesn't really prove anything. Is it really near me? Brickell and Dade, cross streets. Now you specifically know that it is close. And then furthermore, when you get to the page, you take the information of what you know about that single keyword you're targeting now, and you put that into the page. You say cheap teeth whitening near you on Brickell and Dade right away when they hit the page. And then you show a map, showing that where exactly you're located, and then you furthermore target only within 1 mile of your place, so there's really no reason why once they get to your page they're not coming in, and that's the formula. So like I said at the start of this video, you just have to simply put more time and planning into your campaign up front if you want it to work quicker, but you can get it to work as quick as you want by niching down further and further and further until you get to the point where you can't niche down anymore because there's just not enough people searching for whatever you're targeting. But you want to niche down as far as you can. Niche down until you find something that, like, between 10 and 100 people search per month. That would be like the perfect level to get it to work as quick as possible. You can use Google Keyword Tool to see how many searches per month there are for certain things. And if you're in a local market, you can set your geographic area to wherever market you're targeting to find out and find a keyword there. To know that you're not targeting something with one search a year, so that's not going to be good enough. You get what I'm trying to say here. And you do everything you can to cater to one exact specific person in your market, and if you can make a dedicated website for it. You may not, depending on how quickly you need your money to hit break even, if you will, you may not do the dedicated website because later on you're going to have to do another website for another keyword or whatever. So depending on how desperate you are to get the smallest possible money to be profitable, you go further with your niching down, okay? But that's exactly how you make things work. This will work for any niche. Yes, it'll also work for selling products. If somebody's looking for like pottery, making supplies and stuff like that, instead of targeting pottery wheels, like we had a client in that space before, you target pottery wheels for sale, so that you can have that ad that says exactly that, and so that when there's 4 ads at the top of Google, and you're deciding which one to click on, your ad gets clicked on at 3 times the rate, which is about what you'll get. And then you take them to a page that says right at the top of your page you're taking them to, pottery wheels for sale, which that helps your quality scores. It also helps your conversion rates a little bit, and so on and so forth. So naturally, if, as a small tip about in the product space, e-commerce sites, sending people to like a search results page on your site that targets that term. So like what I'll like to do is take the keyword that I'm targeting and put it into the search bar and hit return, and then the page that I'm taking to, I use that as my landing page for that keyword. If you want to get even better results, you just make a custom sales page for that keyword. You don't send them to a search results page on your site. And then so I could go through all the details of that product, have lots of visuals and videos and everything on that page, and if they still want to buy, then they can click a button to go to the real site where the product is, where you can buy it now, if you will. Normally, if you're selling anything over $100, you're going to do much better with a dedicated sales page, a long form sales page, instead of taking them right to the product page, because you can convey so much better what you are, all the benefits and social proof and all that stuff. Like if it's a couple $100, you may be certainly able to get away with just sending them to a product page on your e-commerce site. But as you get closer to like $1,000, you should be damn well having a landing page you're taking them to. I call it a pre-lander, where you're taking them to a landing page, which then the goal is to get them to click through that to go to the actual product page. So you aren't settling for a lackluster experience, if you will. So like with the services, you can do the unique domain. In the product space, it's taking them to a dedicated sales page that they land on, that explains the product at a high level, that then if they get through that, takes them to the page where they can order. So anyway, that's how to bootstrap your advertising with a method so that anybody can get things working with basically no money, little money, whatever. And if you want to do it, I gave you a couple examples. If you have any questions about anything I covered, leave me a comment below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a comment on this channel, usually within a couple days' time. If you have any ad-related questions at all, I'd be more than happy to answer what you have. Just leave me a comment as well. And with that, the information I'm sharing here is coming from somebody that has done ads for 15 years now at this point, and I do ad strategy all day long for the few dozen clients that I have at our PPC agency. It's the best information you're going to find on YouTube, I promise you, on how to really make money with ads, and therefore you should also consider subscribing to this channel. If you want to know how it's really done, you should subscribe. I also got a blog at guaranteeppc.com/blog written by myself on how to make money with ads that you should also check out. If you like the channel, you'll love my blog. It's even more valuable in terms of the information it's providing, as well as my column over at entrepreneur.com. So, and then with that, like I mentioned, I have an ad agency here. What we do is totally unique in that we don't charge our clients fees until you get a certain amount of minimum results on your campaigns up front, either sales or leads in addition to what you have on the same ad spend or a variation of that. If you want to see if we can work together and us manage your ads moving forward, we're more than happy to give you a free quote or analysis of what you're doing and see if there's results there to get. The catch is you got to have something we know we can knock out of the park, but if you want to see if we can work together, reach out to me at guaranteeppc.com, and I'd be more than happy to look your stuff over and see if it's possible. As a side, if you are looking for somebody to help you out but not take over your ads like we normally do with clients here and manage your ads completely, we've got ad templates that work in over 100 different niche markets, because I've been doing what I've been doing here for clients at Guarantee PPC for 10 years by itself, and we've worked over in hundreds of markets. So chances are we've worked in your market already, and if we have, you should just simply use the ad templates that we know work for your market, and landing page templates and so forth, instead of trying to figure it out all for yourself, because we already did all the hard work for you, and we can tell you the results you can get with our templates. So you literally can copy and paste the results we're getting into your own ad accounts for yourself. If you're interested in that, you can also reach out to me at my firm at guaranteeppc.com. You can also use these templates to start other businesses. If you're going to start a business, why not just start with the ad templates and landing page templates that work for that industry and get profitable results. It's like starting a business on training wheels. You almost impossible to go wrong. You start with the ad funnel that works for that market. So you can get into e-commerce if you're not into it now. You can get into selling leads with a service business. You can sell those leads off using a service campaign. We've got people doing both, so that have used our template. So anyway, if you're interested in that, you can also reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com. But with that, I'll wrap it up with that. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you on my next video where we have another great strategy for you then. See you later.